Minister, it has been a tumultuous week for you, and I do appreciate you making time for us on the SABC News Desk. It can't be easy right now, but this explicit video that has been doing the rounds, tell us how that has impacted on your life thus far, both personally and professionally.
You know, I reported this invasion of my privacy to the police, to the Independent Police Investigations Directorate. I reported it to the State Security Agency, and I reported it to the Inspector General. The video is under investigation as to how it and other transgressions which have been taking place in my private communications, in my cell phones and my emails have been taking place. As I speak to you, I'm a subject of successive transgression attempts on my communication mediums. My phones, my emails, there are various attempts to hack into them, to obtain information, I don't know for what purpose and by which entities. And I'm also compiling, I'm trying to compile some audits that will assist further in the investigations to assist the State Security Agency to conclude its investigations on these issues. Now, whether this is the only issue which has been stolen from my private communications, I cannot confirm at the present moment because I also don't know. But the attempt to blackmail me politically and financially and extort money from me has absolutely failed. The people who did this, if they thought by doing this they were going to impair my person and humiliate me in public, they may have succeeded only to an extent. But if they hoped that I was going to sit back and start hiding and not fulfill my public responsibilities as a result of what they had done, well, they went completely wrong. Their plan backfired. I'm not going to hide, and I'm going to carry on with my life, because the issue here is I have not done wrong. The people who did a wrong are those who invaded my private communication and decided to try to humiliate me after failing to extort money from me and forcing me to back off from political activities.
Minister, you occupy public office. Your public and personal life is often under scrutiny. Why would you make a recording like this in the first place?
Well, there are many people, you would be surprised that there are many people who do such recordings with their partners. There is nothing wrong which I did. I have every right to be as romantic as I want with my wife. To say to me, why do you make a recording like this when I'm communicating with my wife, is like asking someone, why as a public person or as a priest or as a journalist do you engage in sex with your partner? That's a completely awkward question, and I think that everybody who doesn't have a romantic sexual engagement with their partners are the ones who need to be scrutinized, not me. I did absolutely nothing wrong. I have every right to be as romantic with my partner as possible.
Do you feel, I just want to garner your thoughts on this one, that politicians like yourself remain answerable to the public or the electorate they serve when they mess up in their private lives? And can we trust a politician who can't be trusted to keep his sex life private?
I did not make my sex life public. Someone hacked my phone and tried to extort money from me. Upon failing, they released the video to opposition politicians who then made it public. So if someone were to install cameras into your house unbeknown to you, and then on the basis of that they try to extort money from you and then make those public, and even go on to claim that you were sending that to some poor student who has never even met you in their lives, having claimed that you are also having a sexual relationship with a 16-year-old whom you have been sending money, trying to spread lies about you, what wrong have you done? If somebody installs cameras into your bedroom or your shower and tries to extort money from you and make those public, there's nothing wrong you have done. You've behaved very correctly.
Minister, I hear you, and most South Africans are in agreement that your dignity has been violated, your privacy infringed, with a video that has no public interest justification. But how are you going to regain public trust and faith from South Africans at this point? Can you come back from this? I have public faith. I have received overwhelming public support together with my wife, and we have nothing to be ashamed of. We will continue to be as romantic. The only thing really that South Africans know now is that we are so very romantic with one another. Really, we are shameless about how we are romantic with one another. If somebody tries to invade our public space again, it may not be in the form of hacking our phones, because quite clearly we need to be careful about that now. But if somebody were to come to our house and install cameras, it doesn't mean that we now need to stop using our bedroom because somebody has invaded our bedroom and now start saying that, oh, you've invaded our bedroom and therefore our our integrity has been infringed. We really have absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. You can look at me and think about the video. That's your problem. I don't have a problem. I really don't have a problem. Minister, do you think all this current negative publicity embarrasses your political home, the African National Congress, organizationally and as a government overall?
No, it does. It was intended, let me say, to embarrass me, to decapacitate me politically, to humiliate me and my family publicly, and to embarrass the African National Congress. But as I have been saying, there seems to be an avalanche of attack on me and my person with a view, with great haste, to remove me, to eradicate me from the public sphere for reasons which I do not understand. But all of which I guess are related to the future of the movement and the country. But I don't think that I am going to take that lying down, because I know that once those people who are trying to do that are done with me, they are going to move on to the next person. And so for me, the issue is I need to fight on and ensure that I defend the right of the ANC not to be blackmailed by people by trying to humiliate its leaders in public in this or another form. And we need to continue trying to do our best to live up to what is expected of us. And so, yes, the ANC could have been embarrassed, but the ANC doesn't come into our private space, because every single member of the ANC, believe you me, does have a private space, and so nobody has got a right to judge what people do in private, because even those in the opposition, priests, people in the religious fraternity, people in the media, broadcasting or print media, people in every sphere do have private lives, and what they do in private should remain in private. And if somebody tries to drag that from the private sphere into the public space, then that is wrong. And what happened to me has happened to a number of other people, and some of them were even forced by public humiliation to step aside out of humiliation. There have been instances where people have committed suicide because they felt that they were humiliated that much. It's something that the country needs to deal with. Extortion, blackmail, invasion of privacy of people, it's something that we should not be tolerant of.
I gather from your tone that stepping down from your post or resignation is not on the agenda for you right now. Is it possible at all, or how do you respond to those who might argue that you are placing your personal interests above that of the African National Congress government you serve?
You know, I was deployed by the ANC, and like any other person who is deployed, I am subject to the discipline of the African National Congress and its decisions. I serve in the National Executive at the pleasure of the President, and I will continue to do so so long as the President wishes me to, or so long as the ANC wishes me to. And if either the President or the African National Congress asks me to step aside, I will with humility do so. And so that is my point in this regard. I think the question of personal interests, those are very complex issues, because where do they start? Am I the first person to face issues either of this or other nature? Am I the only one in the national executive to face this or other personal issues? Does it mean that all of those people also need to step down? How far are you prepared to go? As I keep saying, the ANC does not act arbitrarily in relation to its members and cadres. It listens to them, it considers their point of view and all matters fairly and justly, and then takes a correct decision. And I think in this regard, it will also give me a fair hearing, so that I can state my case before it can take a decision about what should happen.